Welcome to KetoMealsAndRecipes.com. Today I'm going to prepare a savory roasted pork belly with a really flavorful sauce. The macronutrient ratio for this recipe is 11.7 to 1, with only 1.6 grams of total carbs, 0.6 grams of dietary fiber, resulting in 1 gram of net carbs per serving. This is a very simple recipe which uses only whole ingredients and tasty herbs. Here you can see that the pork belly that I'm using for this recipe has been scored diagonally, but unfortunately very deeply by my butcher. The fellow who made the cuts for me was so proud of how well he did that I didn't have the heart to explain to him that the cuts were too deep. But more on that later. So now let's get started. Begin by preheating the oven to 185 degrees Celsius or 370 degrees Fahrenheit. Just one last word. If you're cutting the surface yourself, score the skin diagonally and in a diamond pattern. But be careful that your cuts are deep enough into the fat layer, but don't go completely through the fat into the meat. Season both sides of your pork belly with your salt and pepper, and then rub some of the salt and pepper into the scored cuts. Then set the meat aside for a moment. In a Dutch oven or heavy roasting pot, add the bacon fat, or you can substitute with grapeseed or avocado oil. When the bacon fat or oil of your choice is sizzling, then add your cut fennel bulb, about 2/3 of your fennel seeds, the star anise, and cracked cardamom pods, and the garlic. Also add the fresh bay leaves. Then stir. Sauté your vegetables and herbs without stirring for a few minutes. Cook until you can smell the aromatic ingredients. That'll be about 2 to 3 minutes on medium-high heat. Then turn your heat element to high and stir again before making a clearing in the center of your pot and placing your pork belly skin side down. Cook until your pork belly skin is crispy and dark golden in color. Then temporarily remove the pork belly. Add the chicken stock and the whole grain Dijon mustard. Stir and simmer for a couple more minutes. Then place the pork belly meat side down back into your pot. Add more chicken stock if needed, so the stock, or chicken bone broth, comes up to about halfway up the pork belly side. Now sprinkle the reserved 1/3 of the fennel seeds on top of the crispy skin and rub into the scored area. Then pour the apple cider into the liquid. Continue cooking until your liquid comes to a very brisk boil. Then turn off the heat element and transfer the uncovered pot into the middle position of your preheated oven. Bake for about 1.5 to 2.5 hours. How long it will take will depend on how thick your pork belly was when you began, and also what the ratio of meat and fat is on your pork belly. I'd just like to mention that for this recipe, you want your meat part of the pork belly to be medium well done and not pink, but you still want it juicy, so don't overcook. When your pork belly is done, remove the pot from the oven and place your meat on a cooling rack for about 20 to 30 minutes. Also, place a sieve over a large bowl and pour all the ingredients into it. This will allow you to strain the liquid, and also with the back of your spatula, press out any juices from the fennel bulb and other ingredients. I don't really use the pulp, I just discard it. Stir the ingredients, then taste the drippings and add any salt if needed. I like the flavor of mine and I didn't add any more salt. You'll notice that once your pork belly has rested, and if you run a utensil over the surface, you will hear how crispy the skin has become, which will tell you that you formed a really nice crispy crackle. When you're ready to serve, cut your roast pork belly into 6 equal sections. And this is why it's not a good idea to cut all the way through the skin and fat to the meat layer. As you see, my diamond wedges were a little bit loose. But not to worry, just place them back on top. Also, when you're serving the pork belly, pour a couple tablespoons of the amazingly flavored sauce over each section. I like to complete my savory pork belly dinner with my jicama keto Thai green salad, especially version 2. Another favorite that my family enjoys with the savory pork belly is the roasted broccoli with parmesan and lemon. These two side dishes complement the savory pork belly extremely well, at least in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I would like to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you come see the next video when I post it. The link for the printable pork belly recipe, as well as the links for the keto Thai green salad and the roasted broccoli with Parmesan and lemon videos, will be posted in the description below.